I'm Superantonio. And we're live. Greetings, friends. Happy Sunday. And welcome back to the Batman Arkham Knight live playthrough and commentary. How are you? We got the DLC. It was a pain, let me tell you, to get it to work, and I will get into it. And we got it specifically so we could get this Batman 66 skin, which I feel is both glorious and ridiculous at the same time. I have my favorite Batman is probably Christian Bale, the Dark Knight, Christopher Nolan trilogy. But I have a warm and soft and sentimental spot in my heart for Batman Arkham Knight. Batman 66. I love the colors. I love the graphics. I love I love the goofiness. I love the writing. I love the bad puns. I love the horrible stunt work. I love the music, and I love the optimism. It's that you don't see in any Batman movies these days. Good always triumphs. Batman is a good character. He stands for truth, justice, and the American way. It's wonderful. Yeah, so I love the juxtaposition of the Batman 66 suit in this universe. It's just a skin. He has all the armor and and all the upgrades of a a modern Batman. He just looks kind of silly, and I think that's funny. Mr. Matty says, I'm back from my vacation. Welcome back, Mr. Matty. I'm glad you're here. Papa One and Mama One are here. Everyone say hi to Papa One and Mama One. Papa One says, hey, gang. Mama One says, hey, family. Greetings, Mama One and Papa One. So good to see you. I'm so happy you're here. Sadie's happy to see you as well. So, yeah, we had in Miko Herptile says, hello, Super Antonio, Sadie, mods, and everyone's greetings, Miko. So we had to restart a playthrough, okay, a new playthrough, and I will tell you why. It's so we got the DLC. Sadie bought it for me for Father's Day. It was very kind of her, and I could not, for the life of me, get it to work. Get it to sync up with Batman Arkham Knight. It kept, I was reinstalling the game. Looking over my licenses. You had to renew your, just all these PS4, PS5 hoops to jump through. And I love my I love my digital media. So it turned out I had a Region 2 copy of Batman Arkham Knight, which is the UK and Europe. America, Papa One, is Region 1. So I had, fortunately, there was a digital, they were having a sale on PlayStation, at the PlayStation Store, and the digital version of Batman Arkham Knight was $4.99. So I was like, okay, let's just get that. But, so now all the DLCs work, we got all the extra missions, we can play as Batgirl, we can play as Catwoman, we've got a whole bunch of bat suits and Batmobiles to choose from. But we have to start all over. And we were at 68%. Which is, and I'm fine starting over because I do love this game. It's like, but we had, I spent a weekend clearing out trophies from Bleak Island. I'd gotten all the trophies. It's like we had, we rescued all 17 firemen, including the chief, taken care of Penguin, pretty much done everything except investigate the earthquakes on Miyagani Island, because nothing good will happen from this. Officer Owen, you see later, this character you see later in the game. So he survives this encounter. And note the missing poster on the fridge. There are so many. I mean, the game connects in wonderful ways,
Thanks, honey. So, what's up, your usual?
and we see her in the DLC. This waitress.
Salad
No,
with
no, wait.
dressing.
No, you know what? Make it waffles.
Also note
With
the
a side of bacon.
Halloween pumpkin. It is Halloween night. Also, technically,
Oh, and if you want some more
technically, this all happens in one night. All the events. That's why Gotham is always dark, because everything that is happening tonight happens in one night, which is crazy to think about. Cloudy says, Super Antonio, all you need are some sunglasses, and you got a complete Men in Black suit. Yes, indeed. And then I can go up and slap somebody who's 2 feet shorter than me for making a really, really weak and flattering joke about my wife. Demi Moore looked great in G.I. Jane. It wasn't an insulting joke at all. And then go on and win an Oscar because Hollywood is full of hypocrites, and you get a standing ovation. He completely ruined his legacy from that. I can't watch any of his movies anymore. You know, and I loved Men in Black. I loved Independence Day. I loved his swagger. I loved his style. But now it just seems all fake and insecure and embarrassing. So yes, I'm very disappointed in that. But I see what you mean, Cloudy, and it's more of a, for me, it's more of a Reservoir Dog look. But it's the same thing. Same difference. Also, don't shoot anyone. If you shoot any of these fear toxin victims, you will lose your badge. Cloudy says, was that the bald girl? Yes, it was. She looked great. She was in great shape. And probably was one of the first of those girl boss movies. It's from the 90s. I'm going to say mid-90s. So we evacuate the city, and I'm showing you this because you get a hero shot of Batman in his new old bat suit.
Scarecrow's threat worked. Yesterday, there were 6.3 million people in Gotham City.
Yeah, all of this happens in one night. Also, I read somewhere that the cape physics took 2 years to develop. 2 years. They spent 2 years. They had a team working on how the cape moves for 2 years.
The only people left
Just imagine that and just think there's no way they would be doing that now. Putting that much just level of work into detail into but it's, you know, it's an iconic part of his look.
Not enough good people left to stop.
City's bored with the cape talk. It's mostly peaceful protesting, Papa One. And we pan up to the hero Gotham needs. I love the theme song from the original Batman. I believe it's by The Ventures. Just 60s surf pop. Again, very optimistic.
On one man to save us all.
It was a happier time. Yeah, getting the cape to move right in the wind was took 2 years, and there we go. It's a very silly look, even I think so, but we're using it. And then next playthrough, the second playthrough, where we are fully upgraded, we'll go back to the original, or maybe one of the upgrades from from the DLC because I do like how that looks as well. But note that Bruce has learned to fly now. We can fly perfectly straight. Papa One says, peaceful protesting. Now we know why Gotham is so messed up. Unfortunately, Gotham is basically every Democrat-run city now. Crime is legal. You're allowed to set cars on fire. Mama One says, I used to watch that show. I remember this so well. Yeah, we get modern violence and modern just upgrades, but we get the retro Batman suit. And also he has the modern physique. You know, he's not built like Adam West. Yes, Mr. Matty, I agree. You should do streams wearing the other famous movie suits, Keaton, Bale, Affleck, and Pattinson. Yeah, we have all those suits. Well, I don't know if we have Robert Pattinson, but we've got the 86, and we've got Christian Bale's suit, and we've got Batfleck's suit. I just saw The Accountant, speaking of Batfleck. And, you know, it was okay. It was entertaining. I don't know if I need to see it again. I certainly don't need it on Blu-ray. But I was happy for Ben Affleck because Ben Affleck has found his John Wick franchise. And I bet he was really jealous and was yelling at his agent and publicist, ranting and raving about, why can't I have a John Wick, Jason Bourne franchise? What's wrong with you people? Find me something. Find me a script. And they did. And it works perfectly with his character and his level of his aptitude as an actor. But yeah, we got all these suits, and I don't know if we're going to see Catwoman here, but we have Catwoman in the original 1966 suit, and I gotta say I prefer the Batman Arkham Knight Catwoman. I do. I'm sorry. But she's pretty perky in the Batman 66 Catwoman suit. And we also have a 1970s version of Batman that's like gray and purple, like a purple black. Look at those ridiculous ears. It's just two pieces of fabric. I love those ears. And, you know, it's like he takes one hit to the head with that satin cowl and he goes down, but it doesn't because it's tri-weave titanium fiber, carbon fiber. Watch, you can still fight in the suit. Yeah, it just makes me happy to see him in this suit. Because again, because of the optimism that it represents.
No, please. This ain't your city anymore. You should have left with the others. You brought this on yourself, trying to be a hero.
Mom one says, I'm going to say this suit was the original Arkham Knight prototype in my canon. And they're still afraid of him. And also, as a fighting style, why aren't they just grabbing the cape? No one even thinks about grabbing the cape. Because they will swarm him. But, see, he can pick up weapons now. Bruce learned how to fight. Which makes him, I don't know, it makes the suit a little less ridiculous. If you can back it up, you can wear anything you want.
You're safe.
But
Thanks, Batman.
he kind of looks like a Mexican wrestler or a circus strongman.
The city's overrun. We don't stand a chance.
Stay here. I'll send someone to pick you up.
What are you doing?
Evening the odds.
And then, unfortunately, we can't use the original Batmobile, the Batmobile 66, because it won't. It doesn't have. It won't transform into. It doesn't have like battle mode. So you can like drive it around and free roam with it, but you cannot fight with it.
I need to track that military vehicle.
A squad car has picked up the pursuit. I'm relaying its location now.
Claudia says they were going to add the samurai suit from the Batman Ninja movie, but they canceled it. That's a shame. I would have loved to have that suit as well. That whole, yeah, they could make a whole game out of that. That I forget what it was called. That anime, but it would be perfect. Translate perfectly. I loved it.
Fall off your men, Jim.
And they have variations of the of this Arkham Knight Batmobile.
I'm calling off the pursuit. It's too dangerous. Sir, we're right
Seeing
here.
Bruce can drive slightly better now. What's that about?
Who the hell are these guys?
He almost looks like he knows what he's doing.
Let's deal with this.
5-6 have taken a direct hit from an RPG. They're gone, sir.
Please, Batman, you've got to stop them.
Don't worry, Jim. He's mine.
Target vehicle is at the clock tower.
Oh, I think we will see Catwoman tonight.
Suspect vehicle is in Chinatown. Batman's in pursuit.
That takes care of the vehicle. I need to
Because
interrogate
this
the
is
driver
later in
and
the
find out
game.
what he knows.
I decided for these Sunday streams that we're just going to show you highlights. So if whenever we move on to Stellar Blade or whatever game we're playing, we're not going to be doing linear games on Sunday. And for these older games, I just don't feel it's necessary. We will finish, of course, The Last of Us, but that Last of Us is very story driven.
Where is he? I got nothing to say to you, Batman.
Mr. Matty says favorite Batmobile, the Tumbler. Movie Batmobile, Tumbler. In this universe, I like the Rocksteady skin, which is it's the piebald Tobiano of Batmobile skins. If you know this game, Mr. Matty, I've been playing with the Rocksteady skin, but I've been doing the Riddler challenges with the Riddler skin, and that looks really nice on his course, on his race courses and the Crushinator.
Sure. Is this what I
Papa One says another reason why Gotham is so depressing. They probably have the highest tax rate in America. Batman helps, but makes an expensive mess. He sure does, Papa One.
Scarecrow's got a safe house nearby. I'm going to pay him a visit.
Mr. Matty says the Tumbler is my favorite, or the Keaton Batmobile. Yeah, I liked how long that was. And speaking the animated series, Batman the Animated Series Batmobile, which just kind of looked like an Art Deco armored limousine, was a really cool Batmobile as well. But I did like the just how long and I'm going to say phallic the Batman 86 Batmobile was. Miko says, Papa One, I read New York City is the most expensive place to live. If Gotham is based on New York City, then that makes sense. It's a cross between New York City and Chicago. But everyone's evacuated right now. No, we're not. This is a regular playthrough. Sorry. We're going to we get to meet Ivy again. But you just get to see Bruce improved and knowing what he's doing now. Mr. Matty says, kind of surprised they never added Pattinson's Batmobile to the game. It's really just a modified muscle car. Yeah, it was, that's canon. It's from the comic book, Year One. He kind of had like a Plymouth Fury or a Dodge Impala or
Something tells me this wasn't part of the plan.
Papa One says, yeah, it's tied between there and San Francisco, Miko. It's ridiculously expensive for a studio apartment. It's a shame about San Francisco. It's turning into another Detroit. I hope it doesn't. It was a jewel of the West Coast. It was
Well, that's made things
it was a
little
beautiful
more
city.
Sir, it's Batman. He's here.
Were you expecting to find me, Batman? I'm afraid I must disappoint you. Take a look at the chamber. I want you to know the fear that is coming.
Listen up, Bat Freak. We're walking out of here, nice and slow. You try anything stupid, I'll blow her brains out.
charming.
Ivy.
But only one of us is getting
She
out of
has
this cell.
flowers in her hair. Orchids. I know they're orchids because my mother loved orchids.
Nothing like a little natural immunity.
She's barefoot. This is Quentin Tarantino's favorite video game. Bet you didn't know that. Cloudy says, one of my favorite Batmobiles is the one from Batman Beyond. And Mama One says, we went to San Francisco years ago and saw Alcatraz and we loved the city. It's sad to see it so be destroyed.
Scarecrow
Yes,
lock you up.
I agree.
No hello.
Tell me.
See, everyone is just acting
I
like
don't want to.
Bat, like it's normal Batman. I love
Every
that, even
glance
though
of
it's
Gotham.
obviously it's just a skin.
Started with
But
a meeting.
What meeting?
I just love the
Everyone was
juxtaposition
there. Penguin, Two-Face, Riddler.
and the trunks over the over the tights,
You out. And Gotham
and he's not even wearing a cup.
Over my
That
dead
ridiculous utility belt.
That was the idea. I told him that I wasn't interested in his pathetic human games. And when I came to, I was
But it's
not
very
confident.
well. It's it's the cape is not
Such a
accurate.
shame that his
He's pretty
vile
much just
toxin has
wearing
no effect
a
on
modern
me.
cape, but with that little fringe on the front.
Nature always.
And the length. I think the length in the on the TV series was like
Will he ever
just
learn?
below the hips. Mr. Matty says this reminded me who's going to see the new Superman movie next month. Not me, Mr. Matty. I don't like modern Superman. I don't know I don't like what they've done with the character. I don't like how he fights for the human way now. He used to fight for truth, justice, and the American way. And he doesn't do that anymore. What's that about? Yeah, I don't like where they went with the character. I don't like how they make him vulnerable. I don't like how he's disrespected by not only the people in the movie, he's disrespected by the writers and the director. They don't love the character. They want to tear him down. They want,
60mm cannon operational.
modern Hollywood wants bad guys to win and wants ugly people to be beautiful. Everything's opposite with them right now.
Batman.
But I didn't like the Zack Snyder Batman.
Be there any second.
Henry Cavill was, Zack Snyder Superman. Henry Cavill was a good Superman. I just didn't like his uniform. I'm very traditional when it comes to my comics or my comic book characters. Also in The Accountant, just to show Ben Affleck's inherent nerdiness, which was really, there's a nice scene where, he's got like this this Gulf Airstream or this RV that has like, it's got all it's basically his go bag. It's got his passports, his fake passports, and cash, and gold bullion, and all of his weapons. And he opens a drawer, and there's a first issue of Superman, very iconic, in addition to like all of his like valuables. Superman first appearance, the one where he's like Detective Comics, where he's like throwing a car at someone. It'd make a nice I don't know if I'd want it as a poster, but it's nice. I like it. Mama One will be right back. We'll be right here for you, Mama One. And Serena's here. Everyone say hi to Serena. Serena says, hi, Antonio. Sorry, haven't been on. I've been sick. I do watch and like your videos too, friend. And hi, everyone. Serena says, miss you all. We miss you too, Serena. Here's Poison Ivy. And Sadie misses you and hopes you're feeling better.
I need to know where those tanks are coming from.
Serena says, Antonio, that's okay. I heard the message about messages for me on PS4. That's okay. You didn't message me back. I was so embarrassed and yeah, I was just very embarrassed. You know, it's like I lost the password to the account and couldn't get back online. And but I finally found it again. So yeah, you can message me there because now I'm permanently connected to the internet, which I hate. But, you know. Mr. Matty says, in my opinion, Snyder didn't really understand Superman. He was dark, and Superman is supposed to be this light hero. I think James Gunn knows what he's doing, because this new suit is very bright. Yeah, and he's got crypto. But I didn't like that scene where somebody throws a can at Superman. Disrespects him. Really irritating. But yeah, I do like, you know, I like the self-cancellation squad. I like James Gunn as a director. I'll wait and see what the YouTubers say about it. And you know, I do love Crypto. I don't like that version of Crypto. I like when Crypto looks more like a Greyhound. And Sadie loves Crypto. But yeah, it's like Superman is light, Batman is dark. That was the whole DC deal. Yin and yang. Mr. Matty says, hello, Serena. And Serena says, hi, Miko. And Miko says, oh, dear, get well soon. And Serena says, hi, Mr. Matty. And Cloudy says, howdy, Serena. Serena says, hi, Sadie, beautiful girl. Miss you, too. And hi, Cloudy. And Serena says, that's good, Antonio. I'll message you on there. Yeah, it's superantonio _YT is my capital Y, capital T on PlayStation. So you can friend me on there if you want. But I'm permanently offline, you know, just because I don't like getting notifications. Sabrina says, it's winter here and it's freezing. Everyone is getting sick. I still upload when I can every day or second day. Yeah, I've seen all your Mafia playthroughs. Enjoying those. Bruce is better at tank battles, and I love these tank battles. It's probably one of my favorite things to do in the game. Yeah, the Rocksteady Batmobile is black and white. It's got like a snow camouflage pattern. Super cool. Serena says, I have you on there, I'm sure, on my friends list. I will look. I know you do, Serena. You absolutely do. I'm just not active online. And Serena says, thank you, Antonio. Appreciate your support and everyone. Well, we appreciate you, Serena. And thank you for being here. It's great to hear from you. We can actually, technically, we can load up to 8 missiles.
Batman, I'm seeing a transport deploying more.
But I always shoot off on the first one.
I've warned GCPD to pull their men off the streets.
I'm heading there now.
Because every time you have to keep dodging, and the more you dodge, the more missiles you can load. But if you get hit once, the meter goes back to 0. And I don't want to risk it. At least not this early in the game. And the strategy is basically stick and move. Also, I've noticed the closer you get to these guys, better chance you have of getting a one-shot K, which makes perfect sense. And it's a nice touch. It's a very well-crafted game by a team that loved the character.
Jim, tell your men they can resume their patrol. Tanks have been dealt with.
Miko says, I hear you, Serena. It's the rainy season here too. Respiratory diseases will be more common. I'm sorry to hear that, Miko. And Serena says, oh, okay, Miko. Hope you are well. Sadie is lingering by the balcony, and I have to see if she needs to visit the balcony. So I might have to go. Yes, we need to deal with a call of nature. Or maybe not. Here she comes. What are you doing? Come. Up. Come back. We're on stream. We're working. You're working. You need to tell everyone to like and subscribe. They don't want to be here to see me. They don't care about me. You're the star of this show. So yeah, we had to start all over. But we've got all the DLCs. There's one with the Mad Hatter. There's one with Ra's al Ghul. I always thought it was Ra's al Ghul. It's Race, I guess, or Race. And there's one with Dr. Freeze. And one more. Forget who. Oh, Killer Croc. Serena says, same. I don't go online either. I play offline unless I play with friends.
Scarecrow's gonna break you, Batman.
Honestly, why do you even bother with these meat sacks?
And that guy, that militia guy with the arm and the sling, that's the one we interrogated first in the game. Serena says, I haven't even been on Red Dead Online or GTA Online. I want to, I'm just not well. I'm still finishing other games, and I will.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I miss your Red Dead Online videos. That's how I kept current on what's going on.
You feel safer now that I'm all locked up?
Note this isolation chamber is Wayne Tech, and again, this is a Quentin Tarantino's favorite video game. Serena says, where's Mama 1 and Papa 1? They had a farm incident that they had to, or ranch incident that they had to deal with, and they will return shortly. And Serena says, and everyone, miss everyone. Everyone misses you.
You can't lock me in here like some human. You know these walls won't hold me for long. Still, if it makes you feel safer, I'll indulge
sorry.
in fantasy. For now. Why do you waste your time helping these pathetic
Didn't mean to knock the mic there.
so
Very
primitive
unprofessional.
compared to plant consciousness? It was Harley who broke me out of that police cell in Bloodhaven. Why don't you try arresting her?
One of the guards will fall in love with Poison Ivy, or fall under her spell, and talk to Batman about it. And it's really funny. So we can start on the Riddler trophies. I would love to have one of those as a lamp. That's how much I love those trophies. I mean this task, which fortunately we only have to do once, but it is a lot of fun. There's 243 of these glowing question marks all across the 3 islands that we need to collect for 100%. Some of them are harder than others, and then there are riddles that we have to solve. But the Bleak Island Riddle Trophy Chase, as I will call it, was great practice for learning how to drive and how to fly and how to manipulate some of the gadgets. So you're just driving around, hunting for trophies, and then fighting people that you encounter because everyone you meet on the street wants to fight you. So it's just great practice. I attribute that with how we got to this level of expertise, which is not it's not expert, not by far, but it's we're not amateurs anymore. We're not freshmen. We're perhaps sophomores going into our junior year as far as this game goes. Maybe even juniors. We got the remote electrical charge. It's basically a taser.
You can start by telling the damn truth.
And Commissioner Gordon will start assigning missions. Reven 1972 says, "Good evening, all. Good evening, Reven. How are you, friend?"
All over the city. Cash, give us a rundown.
Doing our Batman 66 playthrough.
First up, we've lost contact with the fire crew from Station 17. We've got their
Lost the original playthrough where we were at 68%. We had to start all over. But we have the DLC now. And I'm loving this game, so I don't mind starting over.
The forensics boys seem freaked out. Real nasty. Also, we've had several sightings of the Riddler creeping around the train yard.
I can understand. I mean, I've always liked Batman personally, you know, it's like, but I can understand the passion that some people feel for Batman, where they start Batman collections. They they have Batman rooms, Batman themed collection rooms. You can find those videos on YouTube. Batman posters, Batman action figures, all things Batman. I kind of want a Catwoman shelf of action figures. I'm thinking about it. Reven says, "Love the 66." I do too. I'm very sentimental about it. See this guy, we can bug him. I love the